All right, well, let's talk about delivery skills from a chair. How can we still be um, engaging as a speaker and not just kind of a talking monotone head when we're online? I think as a speaker, you need to be very self-aware, just like you would need to be as a participant. You need to kind of be monitoring yourself and checking in. And I think you need to be even more so when you are the speaker. On screen, your micro expressions and micro movements become a heightened part of the message, and viewers are going to really pick up on all of these and attach meaning, whether it's what the meaning you intended or not. They're going to attach meaning to every little roll of the eye or smirk. So it's important to sit up straight. And as I mentioned before, I think as the day wears on, we do tend to get really slouchy. I'm sitting on a pillow, but I also have a little airplane pillow behind my back that keeps me sitting forward so I don't get too slumpy. And then you just want to keep framing yourself on screen and making sure you're filling the screen as you should. I would be aware of really large movements. Huge gestures aren't even going to show up on screen. I think you want to be careful of any distracting habits you have, any kind of fidgetiness, that you always are scratching, playing with your earlobe or playing with your hair or that sort of thing. Again, that's always just magnified on screen. Eye contact, we've talked a little bit about that. The weird thing is it's impossible with online to have actual eye contact with anyone, because if I'm looking at the camera, I'm not really seeing you. So it's so weird, I think, on camera, because we just can't be looking at each other simultaneously. But it's very important when you speak that you are looking at the little light as much as you want to look at yourself, or of course, look at the other people. That's really not what is creating connection. That's going to create disconnection when you're actually looking at the other little faces. You're not going to be able to influence or persuade if they think you're looking at someone or something else. When I'm like looking at somebody like this, it actually looks like they're watching another meeting that's going on that they're not part of. Like, I wish I was in that meeting, but I'm not part of that meeting. So eye contact, to build trust, you're going to have to look at the little blinking light. Now, I think you just have to kind of pretend that you're that anchor man in the studio delivering the news. They're not looking at there's no audience there. They're not looking at it. There's not even a cameraman anymore. It's a remote control camera. What they're really looking is the teleprompter, which is, feeding the script to them. But it looks like they're looking at us, doesn't it? Having a conversation with us in our living room when they're delivering the news, but they're just having a love affair with the camera. That's what they call it. So you have to act like you're that camera, you're that anchor man doing the news, and you're just going to look at the light. And you do feel a little disconnected because you're not getting any feedback from the audience. Now, I will say you do need to break eye contact periodically. Otherwise, it becomes a stare down feeling for the viewer. So, and I think in certain cultures too, and we'll talk about this tomorrow, a lot of lengthy eye contact is not the norm in that culture. So you would want to break away even more often. So you don't want to necessarily stare them down, but do break away occasionally to look elsewhere for your thoughts or look at your notes. I mean, that's fine.